Welcome back to Coin Collector, the place where history and value meet in the world of coins. Today, we are going to take a close look at the 1988 Australian 1-cent coin, a small piece of bronze that carries a big story. At first glance, it may seem like just another coin from the pocket change of the past, but when we dig deeper, this coin opens up an entire chapter of Australian numismatic history. The Australian 1-cent coin was introduced in 1966, the same year Australia switched from pounds, shillings, and pence to the decimal currency system we know today. For over 2 decades, the 1-cent coin circulated freely, playing its part in everyday transactions. By 1988, Australia had already grown used to decimal coins, but the humble 1 cent still had a solid place in the economy. That year, millions of these coins were produced by the Royal Australian Mint, yet over time, they slowly disappeared from circulation, turning into collectible pieces of history. Now let's talk about the design. The obverse, or the front, of the 1988 1-cent coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Maclauf. This portrait shows the Queen wearing the royal diadem and has a more regal, elegant feel compared to earlier portraits. On the reverse side, we see a unique piece of Australian wildlife. The coin proudly carries the image of a feathertail glider, one of the smallest gliding possums in the world, beautifully designed by Stuart Devlin, the royal goldsmith who was also responsible for the designs of many Australian decimal coins. This little marsupial is not only cute, but also a symbol of how Australia highlights its natural fauna on its currency. The 1988 1-cent coin was struck in bronze, which is made from copper, tin, and a touch of zinc. It has a diameter of 17.65 millimeters, weighs 2.6 grams, and has a smooth edge. On paper, these details might sound small, but they are part of what makes coin collecting so fascinating. Every number, every measurement, every design choice tells a story of precision and purpose. By 1988, the coinage system was beginning to face some changes. Inflation was slowly making the 1-cent coin less practical in daily life. People would often find them piling up in jars and drawers because they were simply not worth spending. This economic shift would eventually lead to the withdrawal of the 1-cent and 2-cent coins from circulation in 1992. But that also means that the 1988 issues represent some of the last years of the coin's regular circulation. For collectors, the question is always about rarity and value. The good news is that the 1988 1-cent coin is not particularly rare, because the Royal Australian Mint produced over 78 million of them for circulation. This high mintage means that most examples are still fairly easy to find today. However, as with many coins, condition is everything. Circulated coins might only be worth their bronze metal content or slightly more, but uncirculated examples, especially those kept in mint condition, can attract more attention from collectors. Proof versions and mint sets from 1988 also add value and desirability for serious numismatists. Another interesting fact about this coin is its historical timing. 1988 was Australia's bicentenary year, marking 200 years since the arrival of the first fleet in 1788. While the 1-cent coin itself was not specially redesigned for the event, the year 1988 saw many commemorative coins issued in higher denominations, which makes the regular coins from that year feel like silent witnesses to a milestone in the nation's history. If you hold a 1988 1-cent coin today, you are holding a piece of that transitional time. It is a coin from the late years of the denomination, a coin that was used by everyday Australians in shops, schools, and buses, and a coin that today carries nostalgic and historical value. For many people, the 1-cent coin brings back childhood memories of small purchases, piggy banks, and the era before rounding prices became the norm. In terms of collecting, you should always check your 1988 1-cent coins for quality. Look for sharp details on the feathertail glider, a clean surface, and minimal scratches. Coins in uncirculated or proof condition can be worth more to collectors. While most are common, special packaging and proof strikes from the mint are what you should really look out for if you want something unique. So, should you keep your 1988 1-cent coin? The answer is yes. Even though it might not make you rich overnight, it is a historically important piece that represents the final chapter of Australia's bronze coinage. And who knows, decades from now, as fewer and fewer of these coins survive in good condition, their value might continue to rise. Before we wrap up, here's a fun fact. Did you know that the 1-cent and 2-cent coins, after being withdrawn in 1992, were melted down and recycled for use in the bronze medals at the Sydney 2000 Olympic Games? That means your 1988 1-cent coin might share its material with an Olympic medal, making it not just money, but a true piece of sporting history too. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the story of the 1988 Australian 1-cent coin. A small coin with big meaning. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like this video, share it with fellow collectors, and subscribe to Coin Collector for more stories about the coins that shaped Australia's history. And remember, every coin has a story, sometimes you just need to look a little closer to see it.